Thank you, Upendra, Swati, Priyamvada, and all the young people who make this happen. Today, we are fortunate to have Dr. Sudarshan Iyengar with us. He's a family friend, the person I respect a great deal. He has been a vice chancellor of Gujarat Vidyapit, been associated with the Gandhi Ashram in Ahmedabad. Even though he's from South India, speaks better Gujarati than I can speak. And he has been active talking about Gandhi, especially with students from IIT. We started this conversation on Is Gandhi Relevant Today 3-4 weeks ago, and this is in continuation of our conversation on Gandhi. I believe today we have crisis of values and crisis of character. World over, there is great deal of confusion on what is right, what is wrong, what is fair, what is unfair, what is good versus what is bad, what is acceptable and not acceptable behavior, what is decent and what is indecent. And hypocrisy is seen everywhere. People walk the walk, talk the talk, but don't walk the talk. Just a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday or so, there was an incident in a place called Vadodara, where I went to college, where a law student, apparently drunk, was driving and in the process hurt 4 people and killed 1 woman. And I saw a little clip on it. I couldn't believe that a law student would do this in a city like Vadodara. And I said, where is the ethics here? What happens if he becomes a lawyer? Similarly, there are doctors who cheat on exams. And overall, if you look at the fabric of our character, our values, not just in the leadership, but also at various levels in the society, it is alarming. We know that your uncle cheats on tax. Your teacher doesn't teach. Your neighbor lies. And everybody growing up sees this as a new normal. And that's where Gandhi becomes very important. To me, Gandhi is an idea, way of life, beyond a great personality. To me, he represents truth, trust, love, justice, equality, diversity, all of the things that I value and define my character come from the Gandhian way of life, simplicity, sacrifice, and I can go on and on the list. Gandhi is all about empowering people. Gandhi is all about humanity. Gandhi is all about sustainability, inclusion. And somehow we have forgotten Gandhi. Some people even try to demonize Gandhi. And it is in this kind of an environment we need people like Sudarshan Bhai to tell us little more, remind us of the fundamentals. And I'm delighted that today he has agreed to join us. Premvada, thank you for joining. Sorry, we started uh, before you joined because
Sorry, sir, I
there's
was
some
not
time
aware of the
change. No
change in
problem.
time.
I understand. Relax. But I want you to meet Sudarshan Bhai, and I want
Yes, sir.
Sudarshan Bhai to
Hello,
meet you
sir.
also.
Hello,
So
Priyamvada.
with
How are
this,
you?
Welcome.
I'm going to turn it over to Sudarshan Bhai, and then he will talk for about 20-25 minutes, and we'll open up for a broader conversation. Thank you. Welcome, Sudarshan Bhai.
Thank you. Thank you. Mota Bhai. As we call in Gujarati, he's like elder brother to me. So he's Mota Bhai. And thank you for this opportunity. And thank you all those who have joined and spared your time for this. It's valuable time. And Sam has already shared so many things that are basic and in place. And I just have to add, as he says, what are the fundamentals that we need to revisit in this persona who lived not very too many years ago. I mean, in some sense, he's just left. I mean, 70 years in world history or nation's history is not very long. Now, are we passing through turbulent times? Crisis of character is one thing, but how does it manifest? How are we looking at? Well, you can, some of you who are young, you can say that, listen, you are old now and your vantage point differs, and we are very hopeful. We see the world very bright, growing, and the knowledge world, knowledge economy, everything that is knowledge, it's just unfolding. And in this kind of turbulent times, is there anything wrong? But how we see and why things are wrong is that we see world over now that economic well-being in terms of employment, secure employment and income are becoming highly uncertain. You are not very sure whether you will continue to get job, you will continue to earn, you will be continuing to survive, support, help gracefully with dignity yourself, your family, your children, your parents. We are not sure. That's the kind of uncertainty which is bothersome in any society which looks forward for a peaceful and harmonious coexistence. Countries are at war for settling conflicts, and these wars are bloody wars. They are no longer simple. The destruction is mind boggling. You kill everybody, you kill civilians, you destroy civilians, you completely destroy things. That is the destructive power that you have. That's how you want to settle your scores. And what are the scores that you want to settle on? What kind of things? It is territory, religion, color, race. In country like India, we have internal conflicts, caste, and the aggression in life in general of a common person. He just mentioned one, the Vadodara law student case. I can narrate another one which happened 3 days ago in Delhi. A young scientist publishing in Science on the frontiers of science died just because he got into some parking dispute in his flat complex. We can't imagine this, that this can be a cause of death of such a promising scientist of the world, not of this country. This is troublesome. This is the level of aggression and violence and hatred that has entered into our minds. It is just fed. The road rage that you see, anything that you see, is aggressive. And this aggression is not limited to male species, it is affecting all of us, men, women, children, everybody. And therefore, we feel that these are turbulent times. And maybe you should reflect on it whether we are wrong somewhere, and you should point out if so. Running the society peacefully and for harmony are the politicians, because the political systems support us to survive. Who are these politicians? Most of the politicians, most, I cannot say all, there would be certainly some good, but those who are able to make their place at the top are Machiavellians. They are not statesmen. They have deceit, they scheme, and they are authoritative, dictatorial. And we are creating a world. We must beware, as I said, knowledge economy no doubt is unfolding, but this knowledge economy, the innovations, the basic innovations which took place in public domain with public money is now being monopolized by few innovators. And in this knowledge world, in this big data times, you and I are stark naked. There is nothing secret about mine. There is no privacy of mine. I'm exposed, and I'm exposed badly. I don't have a stitch on. My preferences, my tastes, my activities, my reading, my feelings, my passion, my compassion, my IQ, my test, everything is gone. I don't hold any secrecy about myself any longer. And this is not being used for something to the benefit of the people in general or at large, but it is being used for profits of those winners who take all. So I think these are the turbulent times. And I said not long ago, we saw this person walking on this earth, about whom Einstein said, years to come, people will scarcely believe that such a man in flesh and blood ever walked on this earth. And that was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, an ordinary soul that way. What was so special about him? I think the phrase that we use now, he was from the beginning an out of the box thinker and actor. Normally we wouldn't be doing things even as a child, which he did. For instance, he had started eating meat and non-vegetarian food for a good cause, because his friend persuaded him, saying that you vegetarian people will not be able to fight this British and drive them away. You will remain, you will always remain slaves. Just look at me, how strong I am, how tall I am, how I run, how I walk, because I eat non-vegetarian food. So the child got into it. Not the child, but the an adolescent Mohandas got into it. But then he reasoned with himself and he gave it up. You know for what? Not there was a money problem. That was another thing. I'll come to that very quickly. But for the simple reason that from the childhood he had this attachment for being truthful. This came to him from his childhood. That's what he says, that this is given to me. And I thought that when I grow up, take my own decisions, I will eat, if necessary, non-vegetarian food. But now I cannot, because when I come home after eating non-vegetarian, I have to lie to my mother. And I can't be lying to my mother. So on the cost of truth, I cannot indulge into an action which may be potentially good. Now, this is out of box. I don't think that we think like that. There is one Mohan who is sitting inside this Mohan, and every time this Mohan comes across, boy, adolescent, young, there is another Mohan who is calling. The second calling comes when they steal, the brothers steal. And how do they steal? They cut a piece of bracelet of his elder brother because they had incurred debt in this smoking and eating non-vegetarian and all these activities, and the debt was settled. But Mohandas is uncomfortable. The 15-year-old boy is very uncomfortable, and he approaches his mother and confesses. Mother says, "You have done very bad, but your confession, I am a mother, but you will have to tell your father." And he knows that father has a temperament. He doesn't hit children, he hits himself, he gives punishment to himself, and therefore he decides to write. And that letter, written confession, he hands it over to his father, who is suffering, physically ailing, sits up, reads the letter, tears fall from his eyes. And Mohandas notes in his autobiography, "Had I been a painter, the picture is so clear even today in my mind, I would have painted that picture. But my father taught me the force of love, non-violence, through his action." And what had Mohan said in the letter? Acknowledging the wrongdoing, remorse, repentance, and readiness to accept punishment. Acknowledgement, remorse, and accepting punishment if the guilt is large, punishable. Are we doing this? Mohan did it. Not only at the age of 15. This is out of box. This is out of box for a 15-year-old, and who followed it up through and through all his life, acknowledging when he went wrong. He withdrew a very major fight when the politicians of the world and India said that you are committing a political harakiri, you have just arrived on the scene, and on the non-cooperation movement in 1921-22, the whole country was standing. The April 6th, 1919 Hartal strike was complete in the nation. The iron was hot, and he withdrew because in Chauri Chaura, a small place in Gorakhpur where Adityanath comes from today, the UP chief minister, there was such a violence that people killed police people after chasing them away into their own post, into their police station, and burned them alive. Gandhi said, "People are not ready with non-violence." A Machiavelli politician would have just sided this and gone on, not Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. In South Africa, he reasoned. He reasoned about what? We are the same passport holders. We are the subject of the same queen. So, how color can deprive of the rights of what you have and we don't have? The reasons did not work. And that is where, again, out of the box, he did not take up arms. He decided to appeal to the heart with love force, with non-violence, that please try to look at my truth. I appeal to you, and I'll suffer for it. Violence is not the answer. We should remember this, that violence does not end. It gives you no permanent solution. It comes back to us. This is what we are seeing now. Putin has a statement saying that he thought that the war would be over in 1 week. Because what is, after all, Ukraine? A chota thing. We'll just take it and capture it and finish we'll take our territory and the war is over. It took 3 years. And yet, flexing muscles. Because what? Because of all kinds of support. For what? For violence and war. Because equipment, war equipments, war armaments have to be, of course, sold and sent and used so that you can produce more wars. You can produce more armaments. This is what is happening, isn't it? Don't we see this? How much of the budget, defense budget, is of every country? Here, It takes time. We don't know whether it works, but it takes time. But Gandhi was trying to tell us that here is something that we should actually, all of us should try this whole idea of non-violence, which for insistence of truth. And therefore he called it Satyagraha. It is the truth that, and it is not the absolute truth. Gandhi never said that I know the truth. Gandhi said that please try to see my truth and please put forward your truth. Let us at least do this, and when you see my truth, I insist that I protest. I protest against you to see my truth, and if you ignore me, I suffer, but I don't give up. Now, this is the story. This is the story of South Africa. This is the story of Champaran. This is the story of Kheda Satyagraha. Very, very resourceful research mind. In Kheda, what was the argument he was doing for the farmers? British administration had made a wrong assessment of the crop production due to failure in monsoon. Excess of monsoon, not failure, excess of monsoon. And Gandhi did a survey, conducted a survey, and said that your estimates are wrong, and here are the correct estimates, and this is the dispute, and we settle it. This is Satyagraha, showing my truth. And try to reason and appeal to your good senses, not to only rationality. It is not an appeal to rationality. It is an appeal to head and heart, both at the same time. This is different. This is out of box. For him, for us. And this process is where, what is the suffering? Suffering is I keep on improving myself. In last 5 minutes that I'm going to speak, let me tell you how this helps. He said that my truth, practice of truth is possible only through non-violence. And if when I become non-violent, I can be more non-violent if I'm less possessive, I don't steal from anybody else, and I have exercising good self-control in a continuous process. In the Hindu culture, this is called Yama Niyamas. Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. For the spiritual world, true for this world as well, which Gandhi practiced. And he said by this continuous being ever vigilant on yourself with self-reflection, self-observation, self-reflection, and self-correction, you go on improving your character, and the impact of that is that you are truthful to others. So you are an improved person and ever improving person, and that's how we all should be, which helps us behave in a group in a more harmonious non-violence fashion to settle our conflicts, which are obviously going to be there because all of us think differently, but we have to resolve our conflicts. It is done with this approach with minimum losses in terms of everything, emotions, economics, social, everything, right? When this happens, when I said that you require less, you are less greedy, you want to acquire less, your demand on nature automatically comes down. You don't become a consumer society, which we have become. The arrogance and anthropocentricity of this human species treats nature in a way that it thinks that it can command. And people don't see anything wrong, especially the techno-economic experts. They are so deterministic that they think that there is nothing wrong about it. But everything is wrong because nature has started giving us strong signals. Nothing is going to happen to this earth. It will remain. Species like will come and go. The crisis is for human beings, not for the environment. Let us remember this, because nature can take care of its own. So let's not worry about the nature and environment. It's the crisis is for human beings. And human being crisis can be averted by the practice and life of this person who called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who was always an out-of-box thinker. Very committed, very committed to the cause that his love force doesn't die, and therefore it gives him the courage to take 3 bullets on the chest. Not an ordinary soul without such a self control practice would have done it in his life. Worth visiting, very inquisitive, be inquisitive, visit him, and you will find your own answers. 20 minutes is not enough to talk about it. We can go on talking about. I can quote you number of instances how he behaved, how people learned from him, how there is a scope for all of us to learn, to give this world a fresh trial. This is where I feel that he's relevant. And he's talking about permanent values, as Sam is trying to tell us. It is the value crisis. It's the crisis of character, as he rightly said. And you will realize, you will look around and it's crisis of character. And this has to be resolved only through living by values which are with us forever. Values don't change. In our own terminology, if I put it, this is tattva, the elemental. And tantra can keep on changing. There was agriculture, there was industry, there is now knowledge. Things will change. But the tattva, elemental things should not change. That gives us solution to self, society, and nature. Satish Kumar calls it soil, soul, and society. Working in Schumacher School, the founder of Schumacher School. I think I should stop here and invite questions.
Thank you, Sudarshan Bhai. Maybe I can start with questions. Would you tell us a little bit about your interactions with IIT students and that series you did?
Yes, that was very interesting. I was talking about, I mean, the course was called Reading Gandhi, and it was open for all. And of course, the number was not very large, but I did find students who were not in sync with what was going on. It was such a mechanistic way of their own learning, living, and everything was so cut out for them. But they were very uncomfortable that this is not what they want. And I think Gandhi attracted them from this point of view, that here was an unusual character, and he did not grow up like a normal. I mean, he was something totally, as I said, he was thinking and doing something out of box. And they thought that perhaps the idea of good life has to really change. They have been pushed into something, and they are told that they are going to end up with good life, but they were not very sure that they are going to end up with good life, so they wanted to know something else. So this created a sort of a debate. Of course, some of the questions came like Priyambada has asked. Is he relevant in digital area? It doesn't matter which area it is, as I told. We are not talking about which era this is. He is not an archaic person. Unfortunately, Yuval Noah Harari thinks that his ideas on economy was something which is archaic. I don't think so, because he I would perhaps recommend Harari saying that he should read more about Gandhi and then what he has done. See, he is talking about a decentralized. See, decentralization of power, economic and political, is extremely important. That becomes relevant also in the digital world. Now tell me, who is holding the power in this knowledge economy? It is a clear nexus of business and innovation. And you add politics to it. And if Elon Musk is standing behind Mr. and our, who is that, our Zuckerberg, if they are standing behind our great politician, what are we going to get? This is an unholy nexus, because you want to command everything. So who is doing the digital world? These are the two people. One is with machine industry, the other is with digital world, and here is the politician and these three doesn't make very good nexus at all. This is the point I'm making. Now, in this, the IIT students have to understand that they become handles, and they are being played and manipulated around with all their talents. So they have to develop something of a deep self-analysis and a character, and must have non-negotiable values in life.
How was the course? How many Hours.
We had 2 hours of reading in the evening, and it was reading the text and discussions. So I read autobiography, I read Hindu Swaraj, and I read Mangal Prabhat, which is of the 11 vows that which he had given to us. I would have also liked to read Satyagraha in South Africa, which is actually evolving of the personality, and we see how a young person can really evolve. But anyhow, there was not time for that. I had limited number of days to do, but it was a good course. I must tell you that reading Gandhi helps us, and we can try it out. And we can try it out in
Where
the
is the
sense.
course? Is that course available to everybody today?
I thought that they had recorded it and put it on their websites, but I think these days
Can
that
you
also
check?
disappears. I will
But
check. I will check onto
could you
that and
check
share
and
with
tell
you.
us?
Yeah, yeah. I'll
So we
check
can
and
try to
share with you.
promote it to all our friends here
No, I would
if
also
they
like
want.
to improve. I would also like to improve upon that, because that was the first trial, and we can actually start it de novo, in the sense that we can pick up a small text and start reading. And most importantly is his life. So when we go through his life and in a joint reading kind of an exercise, a discussion can be very lively and healthy, that, oh, if this boy did that, I don't want to do this because there is something else. So then there could be discussions, and there may be a mutual learning also that should take place. I'm only saying that the method is good. Reading Gandhi is perhaps a good thing if people have time and they can do it.
But how long it takes?
Well, I think if you do 2 hours, it will take about 25 days.
Okay, so about 50 hours of.
Yes, 50 hours of, at least 50
Very good.
hours, 50 to 60 hours of course it is. Because
Great.
unless you devote that kind of time, you will not be able to
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
I agree with that. That's great. Thank you, Sudarshan Bhai. Okay, Premvada, it's yours. Floor is yours.
Hello, sir. Hello, welcome to the show. So there is a question from Bhupendra. He's saying, in what way Congress party can help large community by taking up Gandhiji's principles, basically?
Well, I think that this is, political parties all have the same lesson, because essentially political parties have a job to do. They are supposed to rule. Now, first, they must have non negotiable values. This is very important, on which they may lose power, but they will not compromise.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Trading off on elemental basic values is the end death knell of any good political party, if they want to say that we are going to follow Gandhi. Right? Now, it had in its seed element. Now, it's a slightly a political analysis, Bhupendra. I don't know how young or old you are, but I must tell you that the greatest mistake which happened was that this idea of communistic thinking that entered into Gandhian Congress politics actually brought down or took Congress away from Gandhian politics, because the centralization did not go away. Once you have centralization, political power, economic power follows, because there is always a wheeling dealing. And then, if you don't have decentralized economy, which Gandhi said, then you will not be able to achieve what we have guaranteed ourselves to each citizen in the Constitution. So, this is a very generic kind of an answer I am giving, but it requires a very deep amount of training for all the political party workers. Otherwise, Congress has inherited certain fundamental values of the Gandhian thought and praxis. But this has to be followed in a very rigorous fashion. You can't just come up and say that, oh, I can contribute so many seats or votes, therefore I must get ticket. No. I have money, I get ticket. No. That don't work. That doesn't work.
Thank you, sir. So there's next question from Mohit Pratap Singh. He's asking, in today's world when Gandhiji's like values are misinterpreted and they're termed as irrelevant, how is it possible to propagate them? And people are less receptive. That is the importance, sir. Like people nowadays are less receptive to hear, Gandhiji's principles and
Yes,
follow Gandhiji's.
Priyamvada, we have presented Gandhi as an old coot. And
Mhm.
does anybody remember that young Gandhi was there, a barrister Gandhi? How have we projected Gandhi anytime? This old man who is half naked, a chashma wala old man with no hair, and he looks like some grandfather who is coming from some cave age.
Hmm.
And we think that he is not relevant, but we never know that he was a vibrant boy, vibrant young man. And why don't we revisit that? And what the capacity of his organization? I mean, oh, mind boggling. There is hardly any person in the world who has been able to raise so much of support for a non-violent satyagraha with any matlab, so such a powerful mighty rulers. Now therefore presenting him must change. And he is not, again, I mean, some of these things, misgivings that we have, he is against machinery and all. He is not against machinery, please remember. He has written in Hindu Swaraj that I think that the love that singer must have had for his wife must be so full that he could not see the drudgery his wife was going through, and this made him invent this silai machine, the stitching machine. Right? Now he is not against machines. He's only saying that, and a technology which is accessible equally to all does not displace people's handwork, brain work, whatever we call it, employment, is viable and sustainable. That's what he's saying. So don't please calculate everything in terms of economic viability in the sense that we do in the modern economic sense. Now he's talking sense. He's not talking nonsense. We are just driven by the force that things are fine and technology will solve problems. Technology will not solve problems. That's what young generation should understand. It's creating more problems for us. It's creating alienation. It is creating all kinds of problems. Our individualism, individual liberty is being compromised. I stated just now. We should realize that. And Gandhi has been a hard fighter for individual liberty. You should remember this. But yes, who is this liberated individual? Who is a self-regulated person? So
I think there
that's a
are many dimensions to Gandhi that people don't
right.
appreciate.
So we have to present Gandhi, and he cannot. There is some politics in dismissing him. Actually, he bothers us. Once you get hooked to Gandhi, he bothers you to continuously change, and therefore it is easy to dispose him. That अरे यार परेशान मत करो, because he does that. He harasses you because your inner conscious comes back to you. He
Absolutely.
talked about that inner voice. When you do something wrong, he will come. That's what I said, Mohan calling Mohan. It
Yep.
happens to us, but we suppress it. When I am doing something wrong, I really know I am doing something wrong, but I depress it because people say, "Are ye to nahi karoge? How can you survive? This is how the world is. The world is all cheating. The world is all deceit. So you will be lost." Let's not do that. This is what even parents tell. This is what even the teachers tell. This should not be done. We have to be honest. So
That's
I
why
think that,
to
yeah,
me, Sudarshan Bhai, Gandhi is about values. Gandhi is about character. Gandhi is
right.
about truth. Gandhi is about economy. Gandhi is about family. Gandhi has so many different dimensions. I cannot think of anybody, any soul that
Precisely.
I know of, who had so many dimensions. And he had
Absolutely.
opinion on everything.
Now, what is bothering? When we ask this question, what's bothering? So let Mohit tell me what is bothering him. Is he talking about himself or somebody else? People are not listening to Gandhi. Are you? What is bothering you?
Yeah.
Start from first person singular. So therefore, we read that be the change you want to see in others.
Hmm.
So, Mohit, I would be very much interested in knowing that what to him, why Gandhi is not important, or what bothers him, what he thinks that people are not looking at Gandhi again. They don't want to look at. What is it? Anybody?
Yeah.
Sir, also Gandhiji was presented in some way like, those saying like Majburi ka naam Gandhiji, like like
This
so
was, you're right, Premada, Majbuti ka naam Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, we used to
hmm,
say that in our school
yeah,
and college also, not your age, but we
yeah.
also did that.
So
But
do you
then,
think it was
yes,
like done deliberately to?
no, 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 no. It was not. You see, once you have, sometimes you do this caricaturing, and this caricaturing had happened in real terms in South Africa. In Germanston, he went for a meeting because there was an English person who took very kindly to Gandhiji and his community, saying that, yes, I understand this is passive resistance, and the passive resistance is taken up by those who are weak, and they wait till they can get sort of lot of arms and they gain strength and then they can attack, and therefore passive resistance is of the weak. He said that I don't accept. He stood up in Germanston's Sabha meeting and he said, I don't accept this word passive resistance. Mine is not passive resistance. Mine is active activity from the position of strength. I'm doing this not because I cannot attack. I'm doing this because I don't want to attack. And I want to impress upon my opponent that I have a case. Until he or she or they understand my case, I am going to continue to protest in a non-violent fashion. The opponent may hit me, arrest me, shoot me. I am willing to bear the bullet. And he did say it in a meeting more than once. After that, in every meeting, even on the eve of Dandi salt breaking march, the evening of 5th April, which is now coming, he had said in that meeting, those who feel that they are afraid of the British force, arrest, torture, and bullets may leave this meeting now, and please don't join me tomorrow in breaking the salt law. Now, this requires a moral courage.
Right.
Gandhi is example of moral courage. Moral courage is rather more important than the physical courage. Physical courage, act of violent defense, armed defense, is out of fear, not out of confidence. This is the point. And therefore, you change and say, not Majburi ka naam Mahatma Gandhi, but Majbuti ka naam Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, sir.
What we have to tell the young people is Majbuti ka naam Mahatma Gandhi, and this Majbuti they have to be told that what it was, from the story, from the history, from the character.
Absolutely, sir. So there is a slightly off question, from a LinkedIn user. I think he's referring to love jihad and stone pelting. So he's asking, how would Gandhiji would have reacted to current like Hindu hate? Like, just we need to
Well, I think let us understand this. If there is any truth, if any religion is playing games, the bluff must be called. Hindu, Islam, Christianity, whatever it be. Right? Now let us see, the point is not carrying any biases. If love jihad is created to, it's a Frankenstein you have created to generate hate among people,
Right.
must be
Right.
hmm,
stopped. It must be stopped, and we must be told straight that if two young adults are in love and they want to get married, irrespective of which religion, caste, color, race they belong to, they must come together and live. However, if there is any scheme that is going on and it is properly detected, and if there are cases that way that come up, we must warn the young people. What is wrong in it? Whether the girl is Muslim or boy is Muslim or girl is Hindu or boy is Hindu or of whatever caste, color, creed, race, religion is, there cannot be any scheming. It's a simple, you know, a love for each other which is taking place, which is so common, natural, human, and it is for both of them. Again, the examination doesn't end in just falling in love. The examination goes on till you are able to retain that love all your life by being together. The harmony that you create, the love that you create, the affection that you create. It's that which is important. And therefore the society also has to be educated, right? So I think this kind of frankness is necessary. And we don't see, the problem is with the political parties, you don't make it a political issue and politicize it. Get to the heart of it and go to the root and correct it. The mistake can be, when I say truth is not absolute, Priyamvada, this is a very important thing. It's not an off question. Whosoever has raised it, please listen carefully. There is no absolute truth. Truth is relative. You see truth in one way, the other sees truth in another way. You just compare, come together, discuss it. How you see truth, how I see truth. And if I have my conviction with pure heart and pure mind, I come with my conviction. Please try to see my truth, and I am ready to suffer. Let this love jihad couple go and stand. मार दो हमको, हम प्रेम करते हैं, मार दो. I am not talking about a filmy scene. This moral courage has to come from within. That if we love each other, we love each other. Kill us if you want to. But we are pure. Our hearts are pure. This is pure affection, love. We are deeply in love. Say this. And nibhao. Nibhao. This is important. And if a girl is compelled to padho kalma, then the girl also should resist, the boy also should resist कि भाई ये कलमा पढ़ाने के लिए मेरे से प्रेम नहीं कर रही है. She is not loving me, she just read kalma and become Muslim. Either way, there is no ghar wapsi also. Idiotic. Nothing works. Let's be very careful. I am very honest in this. Therefore, seeing the truth is important. And this is small t. True with small t. Capital T, when you achieve God. That's why Gandhi said truth is God. It's ultimate. It's infinity. And infinity you don't achieve, you always try for it.
Sir, but how do we stop this hate? Like, in our day-to-day lives on social media, we see so many hateful comments and remarks against each other. Do you think it is...
Spread love, stop it. Don't continue, don't forward, stop forwarding. Request, don't forward. And
don't pay attention sometimes.
it dies down. Ignore, and it dies down. But when you are face to face, put your things straight. This is important. And tell that this is nonsense. We must have courage to say that this is nonsense. Whether it
I'll
is
give you an
Gandhi
example.
National.
Listen, I'll give you an example right now.
Ji.
I spoke at IIT Roorkee, and some guy broke into the conference, started showing obscene videos. So first on Indian TV, it was shown that it was University of Ranchi or something. And everybody said it's wrong. So I tweeted and clarified it. Then I get an email from the official media head of University IIT Roorkee that Mr. Pitroda is irresponsible, or some nasty words, misleading. Nothing like this ever happened. Then I wrote to the person who was at the event, and the fellow said, "Sir, but this was only student affair. It was not a university affair." I said, "But your email says it is IIT Roorkee students." So now everybody is lying. University is lying, students are lying, media is lying to save their face. Okay. And in the process, they are saying that I am lying. I mean, what kind of stupidity is this? They are not willing to face the truth.
Yes.
Okay. And this is what is going on, because everybody looks at petty little advantage. And they are not willing to accept the truth and debate and discuss. Okay. And I find that young people really think more in terms of what Priyamvada said, that Gandhi is old. Gandhi is, you know, for the past. Gandhi doesn't understand modern needs. But people forget that Gandhi was young also. And you reminded us that we need to study Gandhi's youth. Gandhi was a professional. 100 years ago, he went through the whole process, like all of us are going through or gone through. And I think it's important for young people to really do more soul searching when they study Gandhi.
Right.
Not about somebody else, it's about you. And that's the message you are giving.
In 1894, Sambai, when his job was over with that contract of the legal dispute for which he went,
Mhm.
then this came up, this franchise issue came up, and Gandhi brought their attention and they said, Gandhi bhai, why don't you stay back? We can't do all this. Why don't you help us doing this? You said, oh yes, I will stay, but you should understand that I am a barrister and my requirements are not small. I require about 3,000 pounds a year for my maintenance. So this young man of 24, but
Yeah.
very interesting, we should listen to this whole conversation, because he said that then these all Vyaparis, traders said, Are Gandhi bhai, what is the worry? We'll give you this money, and 300 pounds is not big money for us. By the way, the dispute between these two persons was 40,000 pounds in those days, not a small amount,
Mhm.
1894. But then Gandhi said, hold on, hold on, hold on. For public work that I am going to do, I am not going to accept a penny for my individual survival. I am a qualified person, give me work. Very clear. Our
Mhm.
politicians don't do anything these days. This fellow said that I need professional work and I'll do public work. I'll
Absolutely.
not take a penny for it. And then 20 traders signed up 15 pounds retainership to Mr. Barrister M.K. Gandhi, and he started practicing. This is the persona. This is out of box. This
I'm
is young
fascinated
age.
with him. I am
He's
absolutely all
24.
my life.
Sambai is just 24 on that day. He's just 24-year-old. I was green wet behind my ears when I was 24.
Yeah.
And look at this person. That is what our young people should be told, shown, discussed, shared. This is what we want. Priyamvada, he is a fascinating
Mhm.
character. He's a fascinating character.
Absolutely.
Anyhow,
At every
please
Absolutely.
go ahead.
step, in every way. As a telecom man, I look at him more as a great communicator.
Right. Oh,
Greatest
yes, of course.
communicator ever lived.
Sir, I have just one question, like before we end.
Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's no, no. It's just that can you shed some light on this thing where people are saying that Gandhiji helped Pakistan, and that's the reason, where
Oh, this keeps on coming,
yeah. So
Priyanka.
can you just
This ghost rises once in a while. Listen, this was, and everybody who is listening to this, please listen carefully. Lord Mountbatten came to see Gandhi when he was fasting. He was not fasting for 55 crores. Whosoever understands that understanding is wrong. And this 55 crores did not come from Gandhi's hat. When it was division was done, the whatever khajana was there, whatever treasury was there, it was to be divided proportionately to India and Pakistan. And India got this news that Pakistan was preparing to attack because Kashmir was under siege. And cabinet actually decided that we should defer this payment of 55 crores, which is due to be paid to Pakistan. Now, this cabinet discussion came because Lord Mountbatten was the first Governor General, and he came to visit Gandhi. He paid a visit to Gandhi, who was fasting in those days for peace in Delhi and in India and in Pakistan. He said that, Mr. Gandhi, I think that I should draw your attention to this, that it is the honor of India which is at stake. And this decision had been taken, and therefore this money should be parted as quickly as possible because this is part of the partition agreement. And Gandhi saw the point that it was also a diplomatic question where the credibility of India was at stake. If Mountbatten thought so, and therefore, when Nehru came to visit him, he said, Nehru, I think it is in good sense. I understand what, I mean, this must have been transpired. I am just trying to say what really happened. And yes, it is true that Gandhi said that what is due to Pakistan, give it.
Sure.
And it is the same Gandhi who told Nehru, कि prepare your Sena, prepare your force, send it to Kashmir and fight. He is not a coward. He is not a coward. He is not saying that when somebody attacks you, you go and hide in your mother's breast. No, he's a brave person. He told Nehru categorically, because India could afford and Pakistan could not. What would have happened with, I mean, even if they bought armaments of 55 crores, which was the concern of the Indian cabinet at that time, we could have fought back. And this is what Gandhi did. It was just to keep the promise and keep the dignity and honor of the country. So we are only manipulating the fact and say that Gandhi cried and went on fast and we gave 55 crores.
See, liars do this all the time.
And this, as I said, this ghost arises some every few years. It keeps on coming back to us because it has, as I said, it's a Machiavelli way of killing a person who is worth revisiting. This is what we want to do. I
Exactly.
hope this becomes clearer to the people who are listening.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. There are some myths which keep on coming, they haunt from the past, they keep haunting us. So I thought let's better you shed
No,
some
it's
light
good.
on the horse's
Yes, good,
mouth.
good. These are
Yeah.
some of the things. Yes, Priyamvada, incidentally, we are thinking that some of these things which keep on coming back, we are going to really, prepare written documents. We are going to prepare audio visuals on this. We are planning to do that. But once we are going to, I mean, we are going to meet those who have also gathered material. Everything is happening. It will soon come out, even in social media. We will share it. Actually, this needs to be done. Although I must admit, as we admitted earlier, this is not going to die down. Therefore, every time we are not going to, I mean, this is a game that they are playing. That
Exactly. I don't want
you
to play their game.
yeah,
I
you
do
let
not want
out,
to play their game.
you let out some cat and then see the fun. And we don't want to be part of that fun.
Exactly.
We will not respond always,
I'm
but
not
yes,
going to respond to their
yes,
lies.
yes,
Okay.
we will have something. Those who are serious, they want to consider. We will have in text, in audio visual, everything. We will have the material. Whosoever wants, we will say that here it is. See and make judgment for yourself. And
And
don't.
also, we have to take high moral ground.
Yes, we have to.
Um,
Right.
yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sam, sir, and Sudarshan ji, for like brilliant and interactive conversation. And hope we continue with this topic of Mahatma Gandhi's principles, because I think in today's times, especially in India, it is very, very important that we at least keep on talking amongst ourselves and keep Gandhiji alive, and with our actions and in our thoughts, and how we lead ourselves in our lives. I think we
Thanks,
should do our
Premada.
part. Thank you.
To me, Gandhi's conversation is not about a person only. It is about a concept. It's about vichar. It's about vision. It's about character. It's about values. It is about, inclusion. It is about sustainability. He was far, far ahead
Absolutely,
of
sir.
his time in terms of what is good for the earth and what is good for humanity. So, Gandhi to me is the ultimate guide to give me direction. Whenever I have difficult time, I ask myself, what would Gandhi do? And things look very clear. And for that, you have to internalize Gandhi. And it's not
Yes,
easy.
sir. Gandhi to me is a tormentor.
Mhm.
I take it that way. He bothers me. He bothers me. And let him bother.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
welcome. I welcome. I welcome.
Very difficult to live with his standards. But he shows you the path.
You're right.
That's the
Done.
beauty of Gandhi. Okay,
Thank you. It
thanks,
was wonderful.
Sudarshan bhai. And
Thank
we'll
you.
have you again if you
Yes,
don't
sir.
mind.
Sure, certainly. Certainly. It's a pleasure. Why I should mind? This is such a pleasant thing to be with people who are interested, who are listening, who have questions. Always welcome. I'll
Thank
be
you very
happy
much.
to. I'll be happy to join.
Thanks, Premvada. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Upendra.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Swati.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Upendra.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Upendra.
you.
Thank
Thank you, team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.